Hi, my loves, how are you doing? Mama Bear, welcome back to my channel. I just realized that I don't welcome you back to my channel. Welcome back to Mama Bear's channel. How are you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are watching Mama Bear from. How are you doing, my loves? Did you miss more? Please tell me. Because I did miss you. I missed you like crazy. I promise to be giving it to you like you ask it. Ask it, I bring it. Ask for it, Mama Bear is here to answer you. So today, there's a certain lady by name Nancy, Nancee, Nancy Mitch, who asked me from my previous video. She requested me to talk about how I deal, rather how I give the news to my children and how I deal with the questions. If I'm not wrong, that was the question, with the questions that come along with it. So without much further ado, let's jump right into the video. So guys, how are you doing? Thank you so much for my returning service. I love you so much. Thank you for the rest that are still streaming in. Thank you. We are on a road to 30,000 subbies, and like one person said, road to 100K, and I was like, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. My sweeties, you're just the best, right? Guys, this is rather a very serious time, rather not time, but question, and how to deal with it is quite tricky, and it really calls for God's intervention. My sweeties, it is never easy to try and now think about how you're going to start telling your kids where did their daddy go. Like for instance, I have this girl of mine who is 8 years old as we speak. By that time she was 4. A 4-year-old, of course, knows the father, and they were like this with the daddy. Let me give you a little story about my first daughter and the dad. My first daughter and the dad, they were so tight, so close, until when all this thing happened. I remember my sister-in-law, or rather do I call her in love because I still love her. By the way, guys, we are still very close to the family, his family, because they loved me and they still love me. I feel that, and I love them. At the end of the day, they're not the one that did this to me, so why should I take my makasiriko to them? We still communicate and we love each other, we respect each other, we talk with the mother, with the sister, with the brothers, with everybody. We just love each other, right? So I remember the sister telling me, Aki Rosie, well, we really feel for you, really. In fact, now the pain was like, oh my God, now what about you? Because they knew that girl and the daddy were inseparable. Now this is the story I was telling you about. This girl, who happens to be my daughter that I love so much, the first fruit of my womb, my sweetest, my everything. This girl loved the dad so much that it so happened that if I was going somewhere, my baby would tell me, okay mom, bye. She wouldn't mind, you know. But if the daddy is going somewhere, the tantrums, the crying, the everything. I remember, in fact, there was a day I was really mad. I was so mad, and I was thinking, what's up with this girl? I am the mother, my friend. I'm the one that pushed the whole 4 kg from me, and hey, what are you saying? Why are you so fast in telling me goodbye when I'm going somewhere and your dad, you anyway? Fathers and their daughters, oh my God, they were so like this, such that if the dad was going somewhere, the baby would really cry when she was from 1 year, 2 years. And they really used to go so many places without me. I remember pregnant with my second child. They used to go a lot of places. You know, when you're pregnant, you don't want a lot of things. You don't want to travel so much. You just want to stay back and just chill. And they used to really go together. But when I wanted to go somewhere with her, she was like, and where is daddy? Where is no? I know, guys, you understand what I'm talking about. So you can imagine now this time that I need her, that your loving daddy has left us. This warrants a moment of silence, guys. It's not easy. It's one of the hardest things that I have had to do in my life. Remember when he left, he told her that he was going to work. And guys, I had to run along with that lie. Because apparently it was a lie, but for her, she wouldn't know it was a lie. So I didn't know how to tell a 4-year-old really that their dad has left. Remember the other one? There's nothing you can tell her anyway. She cannot understand. Of which up until today, she does not know anything. Trust me. Well, she knows that the dad died and lived with us, but she didn't know why. So she's still a baby apparently. She's only 4 years. I played along with that story, and I told her that yes, your daddy has gone to work. And when the daddy stayed long without coming, I now changed the story to your daddy has gone to the US. You know, and she was like, where is the US? I told her, US is where you just get into the plane and you go far away. And that means seeing your daddy is going to be really hard. But he will still come. He will still come. You know, you have to keep the baby. You know, you don't. They're fragile heart. Remember, I'm telling you, this girl loved the daddy such that. In fact, I was even getting jealous at times, and I was thinking, why don't you cry when I'm going somewhere? But when your daddy is going somewhere, you cry your heart out. You tantrums for a whole hour. Guys, it was really hard. So I played along with the story of yes, your daddy has gone to the US. He will come someday. You know, when you go to the US, you can even stay for 10 years without coming. So don't worry if he does not come, but he loves you anyway. And remember, once in a while he would call, and when they talk, I tell and they tell each other, oh, I love you too, oh, blah blah blah, such kind of things. And by the time they're through with the talking, she would be happy and say, yay, that is saved. He will bring me this, he will bring me that. And I went, and at the second year went. By this time, she was years old. And we had to leave the place that we were, where the dad had left us. We went and lived with my sister. And my daughter, I remember her asking me, Mommy, where are we leaving this place? Now it was really hard to explain why we were leaving our place. You get? It was really hard. And I remember telling her, we just have an issue with money. Daddy's work has gone down. He's not being paid. You see, I don't go to work. She would see me with them. She knew I was not working. I was telling her, Mommy, you see, I don't work. And daddy's work, they are not being paid. And so we just can't afford this life. We just can't afford this lifestyle no more. So we just have to move. And it didn't really come so good. Again, we were going to her favorite cousin's place, and they would play together, and at least a few things she would really not be very keen to her. She's not living in her own place. So I remember one day she told me, Mom, where exactly is the US? I think we need to go and visit Daddy. And I was thinking, wow, we now have to go to the US. US. Yay! Goodness. And she really pestered me. She really pestered me. It was hard. It was hard. I think it's the hardest thing that can happen to you when your children want to know exactly where their dad went and why you cannot go. If he cannot come, then you should be the one going. And I told her we can't go, you know. And she was like, but how did Daddy go? We need to go. The questions persisted every day. I remember praying to God. I remember praying to God and asking him, God, please just give me the wisdom to know how to deal with this. I spoke even to my sister, my younger sister. We are like twins. In fact, we look alike. We're the same size, the same height, the same complexion, the same everything. But she's my junior. And we reason together, by the way. And most of the times we even utter the same thing at the same time. It's kind of like we are twins or something. I really marvel at God's wonders. Like, do you know we could be seated together and we say the same thing at the same time? That is my. I remember we share everything. Our highs we share, our lows we share. I remember asking her, sis, what would you do if it were you? And she just told me, tell her the truth. Just tell her the truth. It might be hard, but she will thank you for it someday. And I had already prayed and I was feeling the same. So she was just like confirming. I'm not saying I told my daughter the truth because my sister said. She just confirmed what I had already felt. Like, these questions were so many. There were so many, and I just had to tell her. I remember calling her one day from school. And there's something I need you to do, to tell you it's wrong. You know, now when I tell her I need her to be really strong, she was not seen, like she now got very interested in whatever it is that I needed to say. And I told her, Mom, unfortunately, your dad left us. Your dad does not live in the US. Your dad is right here in Kenya, in fact, very near us, very, very near. And you remember the auntie you had come with the other time? The auntie you came with, you remember her that time, blah, blah, blah. I told her that your daddy lives with her. I remember my daughter was confused. But why would Daddy live with her? You know? I was like, yeah, that's it. That's as much as I can tell you. Your daddy left us and he lives with her, and they even have a big girl. And that is your step sister. I don't even think I think I just said a lot of things at that time. But I just needed to bring everything out. I told her, your dad has another baby with a woman, and you have a step sister. My girl just kept quiet. And I was like, but don't worry, your daddy still loves you. You see, he calls. And every time you talk, you talk and you tell each other how much you love each other. He loves you. And do you love your daddy? She said, yes, I love him. But why did he leave us? Hey, now I was now already asking myself, now, did I tell her the right thing? But again, even if I hid it, I would still tell her someday. Well, maybe it was when she was young. But again, at the end of the day, I know people will have mixed reactions towards this video, but I don't think it would make anything better even if I told her when she was older. Because betrayal is betrayal. Whether someone leaves you when you're younger, when someone leaves you when you're older, even if you have been left 1 month old or 100 years old, at the end of the day, when you realize that someone leaves you, the pain will be pain, and it will be there. And I really needed her to stop asking me these questions. Let me tell you, the questions were tormenting me and I was going crazy every day. Why can't we go to daddy? Why, if daddy can't come to us, we should go to him? And I was thinking, now where do we start even going to this America? My daughter bursting into tears. She was just, the tears were just rolling. And when I saw the tears start rolling, I hugged her so tight. And hugging her, she now busted, crying. She cried. She cried. She cried. And she asked me why. What happened? Why did daddy leave us? Didn't daddy love us? I told her she loved us. Can't you remember every time you talk with him, he says he loves you? And he says, say hi to Julie, our second cub. He loves her too. And they would talk even with a small baby, and the baby would be like, just talk a lot of things, those baby stories, and you don't even understand, but you just there and you talk and you talk and you talk. And they would talk, by the way. He would call and they would talk with the big girl for around half an hour. And he would talk for another half an hour with a small one, and you wonder what they're talking about, because apparently you're there, you don't even understand what she's saying, but again, they're still conversing. God has been gracious, because from that day when I really comforted her, I reassured her of my love, I reassured her that I will never leave her, and I reassured her that the dad still loves her and loves the sister. So she was like, okay, but she was really down. So I tried. My sister talked to her, my mother talked to her. I called my mom and I told her, Mom, I have just broken the news to our to Gigi. Her name is Gigi. And this is what has transpired. My mom talked to her, my brother talked to her, my big sister, everybody talked to her and told her that she's loved. All of us really reassured her that we love her, that she's the apple of our eye. The small one, no, we really wouldn't tell the small one a lot of things, because she wouldn't understand anyway. And guess what? Even until today, that she is 4. Remember, I broke the news to the big one when she was 6. So this one, you can be sure that she's still very young, and she cares less. Like, she doesn't know what exactly is happening. She sees her daddy once in a while, and she's excited. She hears from the daddy once in a while, and she's excited, and she does not know much about what's happening, what's not happening. But I remember my daughter, my big daughter now, kind of feeling really low about that. And a few times when the daddy would visit, she would not be so excited to see him. She would not. Like she was before, she really wouldn't. And at times we would hear the doorbell, and I tell her, "Mommy, look, who is that?" And she would see, she would open the curtain, look, and see it's the daddy. And she'll not open. She'll come back and tell me, "Mom, it's Dad." And I tell her, "Open for him. He's your daddy." And she would open the door, and the dad would come in and would of course hug her daughter, his daughter rather, all of them. And after hugging him, she would now pull off and come to me. And I remember telling her, "Mommy, go stay with your daddy." And you would see she was really not very excited. She didn't know what to ask him. She did not at once ask him why he left. But I know that the daddy realized that something had changed. And when he went, he asked me, "So did you finally tell the kids?" I told him yes. I told the big one because the small one wouldn't understand. And he asked me, "Why did you tell them?" And I told him, but why should I not? She's really pestering me with questions. Come Monday, come morning, come evening. I needed to just tell her how things are, and I did not sugarcoat it. I did not put salt or whatever. I just said it the way it is the truth. You left us, and the conversation was like that, So I think I have answered how I I I broke the news, and now the questions: why did Daddy do this? Why do that? I remember just telling her, everyone has their own choice to make, and when you also grow up, you will have a choice to make. You will have choices to make. Many times you will need to make choices, but what you need to do is to pray to God to help you make the best choices. Yeah. And I asked her, so if you're older and big things happen to you, bad things happen to you, and you think you need to leave your family or not to leave your family, which one would you choose? And she said, of course I wouldn't leave my family. And I told her, that is why I have not left you. And I pledged my allegiance to standing with them and not ever leaving them behind. And that is why I am very, very bold to tell everybody that I am a mother. I am not about hiding my kids for no marriage, for no man, for no whoever. If you want me, you will come to me and you will know from the onset that I'm a mother and I have 2 girls. You take it or you leave it. We're not talking about that anyway. What I'm saying is that I chose to stand with my family because the pain I had when I was being left, and now thinking the pain that a child will feel, or rather she felt. I'm talking about she because she is the only one who understands what this is, because the younger one, she knows nothing. The pain of thinking that your daddy, the love of your life has left. It's really painful. And come to think that I would also one day choose to go get married and leave my kids behind. I would rather die. I would rather than than get married, you know. Marriage is sweet. I believe, and I've not given up anyway. But all I'm saying is that I can never leave my kids behind in the name of love or marriage or infatuation or lust or whatever you want to call it. It has been really hard. It has not been, now she's 8. So we're talking about 2 years of her knowing that the daddy went and is living with someone else and is living and has already started another family, so he's not coming back. And we have not gone far in talking about if she, but I remember I remember just touching, just trying to insinuate something one day and asking her, "Mommy, would you want to have a..." Hey, this girl was excited. The idea of having a daddy, you can see the void. There's a void. It's unfortunate, guys, when you're leaving your children behind. When unazalisha mwanamke and you wake up and leave, do you even think about the kids you leave behind? Do you think about the gap that you have created? Remember, you're not dead, oh, you're not dead. You just decide to render these kids helpless, hopeless, just because of your selfish needs. Do you think about those innocent souls? I remember how excited she was by the fact that she would want to have a daddy. You can see there is that void. May God help us. May God help us. May God protect all the kids that are in such kind of trouble. May God see them through. May God just see them through, because even us, sometimes I remember we were asking ourselves, even when we were younger, and sometimes my mother would really struggle with us, really. Sometimes we would lack school fees, and I remember sometimes we would ask ourselves, had dad been here, you know, if only dad was here, maybe this and this would not have happened. Maybe I would not have been chased away from school fees, because daddy would be working. My dad was a doctor, and we were thinking, maybe, of course, doctors earn quite a lot of money, and we would be thinking, if daddy was here, if only daddy was here, this and this wouldn't have happened. If my daddy, blah blah blah, such kind of things. So men, when you're leaving your kids behind, or even women that walk out and just leave men with the kids, that kid will just one day ask, if only my mom was here, if only my daddy was here. So my girl is a little bit older now, 8 years. She stopped asking the questions. By the grace of God, I really prayed and fasted. I prayed and fasted. I asked God, please erase those bad feelings from my daughter's mind. Let her grow to know that she is loved. My brother stepped in. Oh, my brother, my big brother. I have one brother who I follow. He stepped in and he became the dad. He loved, well, he cannot fill that gap, of course, 100%. And he loved, but he calls and just makes sure that these girls know that they have a daddy. You know, I thank God that the relationship towards the girls and the daddy is beautiful. Much as I know deep down they would wish it was better than that, but again, it is beautiful, and I really thank God because of it. The man really has really stepped up his game. He's really there for the kids. He talks with them, and I just love the chemistry that is there. That God just healed my daughter's heart. Today, when she sees him, she's happy, she's excited. She will hug him, and they will just have a beautiful time. And the little girl too. And I thank God. At the end of the day, the same blood in his veins is the same blood in my children's veins. So it doesn't matter whether we don't see eye to eye. Well, we do. In fact, do you know, guys, we are friends. We are friends. But more to it, they are sweethearts with the daughters. I do not care less what the other woman thinks about that, because of course it's not her joy. Her idea when she was texting me all those bad things, her idea was for us to be left completely to suffer. But who is God? God always fights for us, like he told me. So my daughters are happy today, and I thank God, because I remember before saying this to my daughters, to my daughter, because the younger one, I will the big one, the younger one, I'll tell her maybe much later, or maybe the sister will tell her. We will cross that bridge when we reach it. But I remember when I was telling my big daughter, I was really praying to God and asking God, please, I am not telling her this for her to hate her daddy. And of course, there was a little resentment from her to her dad, a few, but again, now the love is back, and I really thank God, because even if one day they get another daddy, that will be a stepdad. I know if they do, I want to believe that God, that he will make that man love them so much, but that, and them love him also. But the thing remains, he is a stepdad. There is a birth dad who share a very big bond, the same blood, everything. And nowadays the question they are from my daughter, she does not ask me, oh, why did daddy do this? Why? No, they're not there, and I thank God. When I see they're happy together, when I see them talking, I just thank God. I thank God. Okay, so Nancy, which I believe that I answered your question. Parents, please don't be the reason, kwanza, the one that has been left behind. Don't be bitter. Don't be so bitter and try to tell them, let me tell you something, by the way. Let me not lie. Let me confess. I have a confession. Remember when I was telling her that the dad left, I told her, you remember that auntie? She's a witch. I remember telling her she's a witch. Oh, dare you ever want to go anywhere with the dad? She will kill you. At that time I was with a lot of pain. Guys, until you're there, you may not understand. I am not just trying to make myself look like the best of the best, the queen, the good-hearted girl. Nilichomea mwanamke. We, Why? Because when she was agreeing to that stupidity, she was not having my children's mind well-being in her heart. So, and she told me so many bad things. She called my kids names and very many things, and that is why I knew she would not be in a very good whatever to treat my kids well. So I remember telling my daughter, wow, that woman is a witch. Eh? And you know, my daughter will watch this Aladdin and whatever, and some genie going with some broom and whatever. And I remember telling her, you see that witch you see flying with with a broom, that is your daddy's wife, that woman, eh? That is your, I don't even like calling her stepmom. Hey, that is, she's never, and she will never be my daughter's mom. And so you can be sure that they have never met. They have never met. The first and the last time was that time the woman was brought to my house. And that is the first and the last time that I have seen her also. And I pray that by the time I will be dying at 100+ years, I will never meet her. That doesn't mean that I'm not healed. That only means that I do not want to associate myself with an evil person. Okay? And my children also. So, but again, pain just finished. And my ex understood that there's no way I would really support him taking these kids to the other woman, you know. And the same, I don't want him to now bring the other one. When they are older, watajitafuta, they will look, you know. Unfortunately, these kids that are born out of wedlock and everywhere, they don't have any problem, by the way. Those kids are innocent. They are innocent. So when they are older, I have already told my daughters that they have a stepsister. So when they are older, they will look for each other, and if they want to be friends, they will. If they don't want, they won't. That is, I will have nothing to do with that. So I think I have talked a lot, but yes, it was hard, but God gave me the strength, and God has given them the strength. Today my daughter is happy, and they're both happy, and their daddy is okay, and they are sweethearts. They love each other. And for me, I am there. I am there to support all that, because it's a beautiful thing when you see your kids and their dad bonding. What else can you ask from God rather than just say thank you? So yes, God bless you so much for listening to all this. How long is this? 38 minutes. God bless you. You are awesome. Women, don't be bitter and make sure that these kids hate their dad. You know what? When they are old enough, when they are 18+, they will look for that father. You will see them in a picture. They take a picture and post, my daddy. Oh, hey, you will feel kiwaru. You will feel like you want to die. And all your life you had been telling them, your dad is bad. He left you. Your dad did. Your dad. Please respect yourself. Don't be the person to just bring commotion. You're going to torture this kid's mind. Please let them be. Let them love each other. They are one, the same blood, what everything. They are the same. They are one. They're just mutu na babake, the same blood flowing in the veins. They are. Let them love each other, okay? And even you men, when the wives leave, don't be the reason, oh, your mother did, oh, please don't talk to her. If they want to talk, let them talk. If they don't want to, if they want to hate him or her from their own will, then you have nothing to do. You wash your hands like Pontius Pilate, the way he did. And he said, makosa ya huyu, let no one ask me about that, because my hands are clean. You get? So my hands, I feel my hands are clean. And even if in future I get married, because I'm really trusting God, I will not stop the children from talking to the father. And I will have to make sure that that man will know that whether he likes it or not, these kids have to communicate with their father. And if they are young, they will have to communicate with their father through me. When they are older and they have their own phones, they can call each other and talk. But as long as they are minors, and even if they have their phones are not for calling, they're just for playing. So if they have to communicate, they still have to communicate through me. So there will be communication between me and my ex as long as we are alive. Not maybe until the kids, they are over 18, and now they can communicate with him freely without me. That is the only time I can cut ties with this man. But as long as the kids are this tender, my friend, relationship has to be there. Doesn't mean that it is anything to do with the love and whatever. Relationship, it has to be there. Parenting, co-parenting, everything, it just has to be there. Okay? So guys, thank you very much for listening to me for a whole 40 minutes. God bless you. You are blessed beyond measure. I hope this one educates you one or two things. Okay? So did you like the video? Give it a big thumbs up. Leave a sweet comment for me down there. Let me know. Share this broadcast. Share this video. Let everyone know that Mama Bear is here and has some very juicy stories to share. So God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. I love all of you from wherever you're watching me from. And ciao, ciao.